Hey there, Prono. I just read your essay entitled Man versus Nature. There are some really good things in here, and there are some things to address. So, one of the strengths in your piece is when you talk about that boat. I really love your symbolism here. Um, let's see, the boat is a metaphor for a person's destiny. Water, usually symbolizing life and renewal, represents the drowning reality of life or challenges nature throws our way. I thought it was really, really beautiful. Each wave that passes is a depiction of nature using trials like the failure of a career, marriage, individual dreams to suffocate man's destiny. Um, and then the cook trying to save himself. It's just beautiful. So I would say that was definitely the highlight of your piece. It's really, really nice. Um, some things to look at. Um, in your thesis, you talk about London and Crane use distinct experiences of survival against nature and imagery of man controlling nature to show nature does not have sway over people's destinies. So you got to work on your word choice here because nature does have sway over people's destinies. I mean, it's just hard to see you making that case when later on you say nature's going to throw things your way, like a lost job, like a hurricane, like a death, like inclement weather, whatever. Um, I think the point that you're really making, you make in the conclusion. It's just, again, your phrasing. It's just sometimes, I think, hard for you to express exactly what you want to say. Um, you have this beautiful last line. Nature may have certain aspects of authority over humanity, but it is up to the human race to choose how we live, no matter the natural circumstances. So I think that's what you were trying to say. That should have been in your thesis. You know, yes, natural things will happen. It's just the way things are, but people have a responsibility to X, Y, and Z. If you were relying on those different quotes you had, one of them is they have that responsibility to bail themselves out, um, you know, uh, to face challenges with dignity is one of the points you make. Do you know what I mean? So your thesis could have been so much stronger, and then you could have used those points you make in your thesis for your topic sentences that come afterward. Um, so this just isn't a very well developed essay at this point, because the point is confusing and inconsistent about nature having no sway. Um, you show a man fighting nature, and that's just fine. Um, and then you have it clinging on to man-made things despite nature. It's an interesting point. And then you move into London. But then about men overcoming nature, I just don't feel like you make that case. I don't see how that man running is him beating nature. He's not. I mean, nature is killing him because he's outside and it's too cold. So there's just confusing points. So that's the big issue for me is content wise, your claim isn't very clear. So it's hard to see you proving your claim when it's really not that clear and it's not really what you say at the end of the essay. So that's a big problem with content. Your organization moves actually pretty well, addressing different specific ways that nature is challenged. That's fine. But then your language is really confusing. I'm just going to look at this first paragraph with you. Naturalism is humanity having little to no influence on our destinies. I mean, I think you're saying, naturalism shows that men don't have control over the elements or something, but this is kind of strange. Humanity has little influence over our destinies. So that's like saying humanity has little influence over humanity. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of awkward. And that nature is essentially the pilot of life, and there should be a period here. Individual choices are eligible for people. That's just awkward phrasing. People can make choices, but there is a limit to those choices. The rest of life depends on Mother Nature, period. Jack London, Stephen Crane wrote these things is depiction. So that doesn't make sense. Jack London and Stephen Crane wrote this text and this text is depictions. Doesn't make sense. Of the forgiving and finality of Mother Nature. Again, doesn't make sense. It'd be of the unforgiving attitude and finality of Mother Nature, maybe, but again, it's just awkward phrasing. I think you might want to just read your work aloud and then say, okay, what am I really trying to say? And then clear up your text line by line. Moving forward, each author, whether on purpose or accident, and now, I mean, that's like saying they may have accidentally shown something. Do you think that it was accidental? Alludes is ALLUDES. This is a different type of alludes. This is to run away from. to the idea that man does have a choice to determine their destinies, despite nature's law of survival of the fittest. Lenin and Crane use distinct experiences of survival against nature, and you wouldn't have a comma here, and imagery of man controlling nature to show nature does not have sway over people's destinies. Um, yeah. So anyway, there's just some things to look at. So there's wording concerns, really some awkward phrasing, and then your MLA, you need to be doing page numbers, and you do later on, but this is not MLA. It would be 34 or whatever page it's from. Same thing here. It should just be a page number, and then when you're using a new text, you'll say Kane and then 290. So this is fine. This one's fine. So I'm wondering if it was just because it was an online text and you didn't know how to do it. And then this isn't written in MLA format, this reference page. So it should be a works cited page. So study MLA more so you can get those easy points and keep proofreading. I suggest sending me your draft of your next essay just so I can help you more and give you more suggestions. But keep doing your beautiful analysis and keep working with other people reading your work to make it as clear as possible.